ke wayifunda le nombolo uma ngaba yifuna thi lapho iqala ngo-2760901689
Yes, and the next column,
The next column,
highlighted column.
which shows a start date, it shows 10/09/2020, and then it goes to the time, it says 18:08.26.
bese lapho ke usuku loqala ke bakhuluma ngalo ke lapho ke ilanga la nge-10 ngenyanga yesi9 ke lapho ke bese ngumnyaka 2020 athi isikhathi lapho ke imizuzu ewu8 ngemuva kokushaya kwehora la ka6 bese ngemizuzwana ewu26.
Yes.
And then the following column, which says other party, it shows a number of 079-039-7605.
bese ke inombolo elandelayo ngapha la kade khona omunye umuntu bekhuluma naye ke lapho ke u079 039 7605.
Now, if you can compare that number, the 079-039-7605 that you've just placed on record, with the one appearing on Exhibit YY8, the letter from the Legal Practice Council.
Yeah, the letter from our office, the Legal Practice Council, is the same number that appears on Exhibit DD.
bathi ke uma uqhathanisa ke inombolo lezi kodwa ufunda ke kumanje ke futhi nale nombolo ezana kule ncwadi eqhamuka lapho ke ngaphansi kwe Legal Practice Council ungabe ziyafana noma ayifani yini ke le nombolo lezi ke athi ufakazi inombolo ezizodwa futhi ziyafana.
Description of the call.
The description of a call, it shows PCM, which I think it's please call me.
Yes.
With the full description is PCM.
Thank you.
bathi ke lapho ke ngabe mhlambi inkulumo enjani ke lana athi la babhala ukuthi PCM ucathi mhlambi ke lapho kusho ukuthi umuntu wathumela omunye ke call back lapho ke mhlambi umyalezo ka call back.
Yes, the next call.
The next column, the first column, it shows the number 2760901689. The start date of that call, it shows 10/09/2020, 18:08:49, and then the other party's number, it shows 079-039-7605. And then the call description, it says the same, PCM.
athi ke lapho ke ucingo olulandelayo ke namhlanje inkulumo kathi ikhona ke landelayo ke lapho ke phakathi kwele nombolo ezilandelayo inombolo eqala ke lapho ke u2760901689 bese athi langa elibhaliwe lapho ke 10 ngenyanga yesi9 ngomnyaka 2020 isikhathi lapho ke u18:08:49 usuthi imizuzu ewu8 ngemuva kwehora la ka6 intambama ke bese imizuzwana khona ke u49 ke lapho ke athi umuntu kade athunyelwe ke umyalezo ngo-call back ke lapho ke inombolo zakhe ilezi 079-039-7605 bese athi inkulumo indlela athi inkulumo ke ingayo ke lapho ke athi uPCM athi should please call me.
And how does that number, the other part, 079-039-7605, compare to the number on your record, Exhibit YY8?
The number is the same as the Exhibit YY and DD.
bathi ke uma uqhathanisa ke inombolo ekhona ngaphakathi kombuso ka YY8 futhi no DD5 open bracket E close bracket open bracket Roman figure 1 close bracket, uma ngabe uqhathanisa ke ngabe inombolo eziyafana yini noma ayifani ke athi ufakazi inombolo ezizodwa futhi ke ziyafana le inombolo.
Yes, the next call. The next page.
The first number on this column is 27060901689. The start date of this, it shows 01/10/2020, And then the other party's number, it shows 079-039-7605. The description shows PCM.
Athi-ke ucingo olulandelayo mhlawumbe inkulumo elandelayo phakathi kwenombolo ezimbili ke lezi ezikhethekile ke lapho ke inombolo yokuqala ke lapho ke athi 27 6090 ke bathi ilanga lalapho ke ilanga lokuqala ke ngenyanga yes10 lapho ke umnyaka 2020 ke isikhathi lapho kwathi 19:49.32 usuthi imizuzu ewu49 ngemuva kwehora lesikhombisa ke ebusuku ke lapho kubeke bese ngemizuzwana ewu32 bathi ke inombolo leyo ke kade bethumela ku callback other party noma elinye ke iqembu ke lapho ke u079 0397605 wathi ke lapho ke indlela inkulumo yakho yakhona kade ku PCM should please call me.
And the other party, that number, how does it compare to the one in Exhibit YY8?
With Exhibit YY8, it is the same number in terms of our records and the letter.
Bathi inombolo ke khona ke ngaphansi kwelinye iqembu mhlawumbe umuntu wesibili ke khona ngalana ngabe mhlawumbe iyafana yini ke nenombolo ekhona ke ngale phakathi kombukiso ka YY8 athi ke inombolo eyodwa futhi iyafana.
This document has already been admitted. Exhibit DD5E Roman figure 1, if you can just, and the trend is the same, is that correct?
On the
You just count the number of calls on each page.
On the first page, it shows 2 calls, and second page is 2 calls as well. And then the third page, it's only 1 call that's highlighted. The fourth page shows 2 calls. The fifth page is only 1 call. The sixth page is only 1 call. Seventh page, it's only 1 call. Eighth page, 2 calls. Page 9, it's only 1 call.
Athi ke kade ubuza ukuthi ngabe mhlawumbe bakhulume ke ikhathi ezingangani kulamakhasi ka imbukiso lapho exhibit DD5 open bracket E close bracket Roman figure 1 athi ke kukhasi lokuqala ke bakhulume ikhathi ezimbili ke lapho ke kepha kuma buka ikhasi lesibili ke lapho bakhulume ke ikhathi ezimbili futhi ke uma buka ikhasi lesithathu nakhona bakhulume isikhathi esisodwa ke lapho ke uma buka ikhasi lesine ke lapho bathi bakhulume ke ikhathi ezimbili ke kepha kuma ngabe buka ke ikhasi lesihlanu ke lapho bakhulume isikhathi esisodwa uma buke ikhasi lesithupha ke lapho ke athi nakhona bakhuluma isikhathi esisodwa ke lapho ke uma buke ikhasi lesikhombisa lapho ke futhi nakhona bakhuluma isikhathi esisodwa ke lapho ke athi ke uma buka ikhasi leshagalolunye nakhona bakhuluma isikhathi ezimbili ke uma buka isikhathi leshagalolunye athi bakhuluma isikhathi esisodwa ke futhi.
Just from my understanding, not only me, is who is calling who, so that it's simplified. Or which number is calling which number.
Well, my lord, it's already on record.
Yeah, fine.
The number 079-039-7605 is sending, please call me PCM, to the number, the number 060-9016-890 is sending, please call me on those dates to the number 079-039-7605.
Yeah.
And the exchange of calls between the two numbers. So the evidence is already on record, my lord, that the number 0690-16890 belongs to accused number 2. It's been admitted.
So it's the number of number 2 calling the LPC.
No, calling Mr. Mjiako.
Yeah. calling Mr. Mjiako.
Yes, and the other way around, my lord.
Okay.
So there's communication between the two numbers. That's the essence of
Yeah.
this witness evidence, my lord. Thank you.
kade inkosi enkantolo kibuza ukuthi kahle abobanike labantu ababili ade bexhumana ke lapho ke bese ke umshushisi uyasho khona ukuthi malana nodaba lwalencwadi yalenkulumo yenombolo ezikhethekile ke lezi ukuthi sele inkosi enkantolo yamukele ke lofakazi ngaphambi kwayo ke futhi basho khona ukuthi le nombolo lezi ke khona ke ngalana ke ezaka +27 6090168890 ke ukuthi inombolo zakamsola wesibili ke lapho ke kepha ke lezi za inombolo elandelayo zaka 079 039 7605 kukuthi inombolo zakamnumzana ke umjiyako.
Thank you, my lord. That is all.
Futhi asho khona njalo ukuthi yena ke umsolo wesibili kulaba yaxhumana khona ke nomnumzana umjiyako.
Any cross examinations?
As it is the court, my lord. I'm not so sure if we can be allowed to move away from proper protocol.
From?
From protocol.
How can we move away?
That's the reason why I'm saying I'm not even so sure, my lord, if I can be heard. I know that this is going to Mr. Ramsipili. I'm saying
Yeah.
I know that this witness'
Yeah.
testimony
Yeah.
is about the client that is represented by Mr. Ramsipili. I, however, have some questions to him, but would have requested that, and that's something that I've already discussed with Mr. Ramsipili, that probably Mr. Ramsipili then starts with this cross-examination. If I have a question subsequent to what he would have asked this witness, then I would request an indulgence from the court to follow him. But
No, the protocol here is, and I was told by you, that because your clients are charged in terms of common purpose,
yes,
or furthering a common purpose,
yes,
what obtains for one obtains for the other, meaning the evidence led by the state
yes,
in trying to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt
yes,
on the basis of the furtherance of a common purpose.
yes,
You are jointly defending your clients because they are charged jointly.
yes,
And you said anybody can cross-examine anybody at any time. That's what you told me. So if Mr. Ramosipiri wants to cross-examine, he has been doing it all along.
yes.
Even Mr. Ngomalo, even you, and even Ms. Msholon,
Yeah.
and even the late Mr. Ngomezu. That's
Yes.
what you are doing.
Yes, ma. I was actually referring to the normal sequence. Look, I'm representing.
Yeah, I hear you.
Accused number one.
Yeah.
and
So
number
you want
three.
Mr. Ramosipiri to start?
That is what I would have requested, my lord.
My lord, if the court is so inclined, I don't have a problem to start. As the court pleases.
The state, Mr. Baloyi?
We don't have a problem, my lord.
Should
Okay.
I then proceed?
Yeah, you can proceed. So Mr. Ramosipiri is cross-examining the present witness, Mr. Sambo.
Yes.
Manje ke kade acela ke ummeli omeleke umnumzana oqala futhi umnumzana wesithathu ke ekuthizeni inkosi enkantolo emvumela ukuthi aqali yena representative ukuze ke kufakazi okhona ke njengamanje ke kepha aqale ke umnumzana uRamsepili omeleke umnumzana wesibili.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sambo.
Afternoon.
I'm going to be brief because this evidence is about a particular legal practitioner who's yet himself to testify in this court. But by way of background, has my learned colleague from the state intimated to you why you are here today?
They indicated that my presence was based on the affidavit that I drafted in terms of the records that we have pertaining to Advocate Mjiako. And my presence was required for me to then give evidence in terms of what the LPC has on their records pertaining to Advocate Njiako.
Wathi ke manje uzobuza kumbuzo ukuthi malana nendaba ke le nombolo nomhlambi le nombolo ade zikhona ke lana ke futhi ngabe bakutshelile yini inombolo zakamnozana umjiyako ngabe bakutshelile yini isizathu sokuthi bekhona ngaphambi kwenkosi enkantolo lethu ufakazi bakho ngoba umnumzana umjiyako usengekezi enkantolo azophala ngofakazi bakhe ngabe manje isizathu sakho sokuthi bekhona enkantolo yisiphi ke athi ufakazi isizathu simlethela nako ukuthi bamcelile ukuthi akezeke azokhuluma ngedaba lo affidavit awalibhala ke mhlawumbe incwadi ayibhala ngaphansi kwesifungo ke la ikhuluma khona ngomnumzana umjiyako futhi nale nombolo lezi zakhe kade abhalise ngazo ngaphansi ku-LPC.
Now, for me, the background is the following, and it will be remiss of me not to give you the background as to why you are here today. The background is the following. I represent accused number 2, and during the trial, within the trial, and in the course of this trial, accused number 2 has given me the instruction as follows, and the late Mr. Mgomezulu, may his soul rest in peace. The following instructions: that this practitioner that is the subject matter of this exercise today, Mr. Mjiako, he did not give Mr. Mjiako the mandate to represent him under any circumstances, be it in this case or in the Tabane case, for the possession of a firearm. That is the background. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, let us not be misconstrued. And I've listened attentively to what Mr. Mgomezulu, the late, has put here in court and what I've also put. Never ever have we intimated or suggested that Mr. Mjiako is not an attorney. That has never been our submission or suggestion.
Bathi khona ke njalo ke umnumzana uma sesibuka ke isikhangiso secala ke masiqala ke emuva lapho kumana nedaba le background la khona ke bathi bona ke bakaze basho noma wena ke ngesikhathi kade khona kumzila ngaphakathi komzila ke umnumzana awakazi ukukhuluma indaba ukuthi umnumzana umjiyako kade akumele ke kwicala lokudayisa idakamizwa noma lutholakala nezidakamizwa ke futhi ke bese ukuthi yena ukuthi khona njalo ke futhi nosele ashona ke umnumzana uMngomezulu ke lapho ke uthi bona abakaze bayingabazi ukuthizeni umnumzana umjiyako ke ummeli.
At issue, and the relevant person that can come and speak about that is Mr. Mjiako himself as to how he came to represent accused number 2. In particular, at the taking down of the confession at Boksburg Magistrates Court on the 24th of June 2020.
Bathi khona ke njalo ke lapho ke umuntu ongaze futhi kube isixazululo manje kube isisombululo ke salenkinga esibhekene nakho ukuthi ke kuze ke yena ke umnumzana ke umjiyako alethe ufakazi bakhe ke azokuchazela inkosi enkantolo atshela inkosi enkantolo ukuthi ngabe empeleni nangoqiniso bekakumele yini ke umnumzana ngesikhathi kade kulapho ngaphansi kwenkantolo ke seBoksburg lapho ke la ngesikhathi kade thatha khona ke confession.
Are you with me?
Yes, I'm following.
Yes.
Yebo ngilalele.
So, these documents that we talk about, the confirmation of enrollment with the LPC Exhibit YY, we don't put that into dispute.
But
yes, we can interpret.
athi ke mara nodaba le koma lencwadi ke khona ke lana ke la qhamuka lapha LPC ke lapho ke exhibit YY ukuthi bona abayingabazi ukuthi qhamuka lapha LPC incwadi kaMnumzana ke uDominic Ntokozo Mjiyako.
And Exhibit YY4, which is an FFC, Fidelity Fund certificate issued to Mr. Mjiako in 2020, on the 24th of February 2020. We don't dispute that.
Athi futhi incwadi ekhona ke lapha ngaphakathi kombukiso ka YY4 eqhamuka lapho ke legal practitioners Fidelity Fund ukuthi iqhamuka khona ke wathi naye futhi abayiphikisi ke incwadi le enombolo FFC 04415/2020.
And the subsequent, because you've now testified to say this 004-04415 of 2020 FFC number was a duplicate which was allocated to Mr. Mujiako and a practitioner by WLS Scholz, correct?
Yes.
Futhi nenombolo
I'm sorry,
lezi
MSL, not W, it's
Yeah.
MSL Scholz.
futhi nale nombolo zokuthi khona ke la kade khona ke iphutha ngesikhathi wena ibhala ke lapho ke inombolo lezi zaka mnumzana uMjiyako futhi nomama uScotty ke lapho ke lezi zaka 04415 no 4415/2020 athi yebo kunjalo ke asiphiki lokho.
Now, if I understood your testimony well, amongst other duties that you embark upon in your capacity as an administrator senior, you assist legal practitioners in applying and obtaining of FFCs, correct?
Yes. Before the appointment as a LO, legal officer, I mean.
Bathi ke lapho ke umsebenzi wakho wenza njengonobhala komkhulu ke lapho ke legal practice council kusifulekelela abameli ke uma belethe icelo zabo ke lapho kathi ngeinombolo athi yebo ngapha ukuthi babavumele ukuthi basebenze njengabameli abayimele.
But then you, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't work for the Fidelity Fund, you work for the Legal Practice Council, correct?
Yes, yes.
Bathi ungilungise kuma ngabe ngingajulile kahle kusho ngasebenzile ke lapho ke Fidelity Fund athi yebo ngisebenzele khona kepha ngisebenzela ke lama Legal Practice Council.
Now this error that resulted in the allocation of a duplicate FFC number 04415/2020 to both Scholz and Mujiako happens at the portal of FFC, not at LPC, right?
It happens with the Fidelity Fund portal, yes.
Yes.
Bathi ke le nombolo lezi ke ekuyinombolo eyodwa ethizeni ke nini ke abantu ababili ke lapho uMjiyako futhi no Scotty ke lapho ke usho ukuthi wena ke usebenzela ngaphansi kwe Fidelity Funds account FFC athi yebo kunjalo ngisebenzi khona ke.
Now, when you assist practitioners, legal practitioners, in applying and therefore them obtaining Fidelity Fund certificates, what access do you have at the portal of the Fidelity Fund?
There's two portals that the system offers. There's a portal where the practitioners have their login credentials.
Yes.
They then apply for the applications on their side.
Yes.
As administrators of that system, we have a system that shows all the applications that are received and then the certificates that are issued, which is only limited to the officials at the LPC and the Fidelity Fund as well. So it's for us to see whether this certificate has been issued and what the certificate looks like. So we have access for that.
Athi lapho banama system amabili ke lapho ke system eqala kule portal yabo athi kula khona abantu bafaka khona ke icelo zabo ke futhi nama number wabo ngesikhathi besenza ke icelo zabo ke kepha ke isystem yesibili athi kula khona ke wathola khona ukuthi mhlambi lama certificate okusuke bewavumile wabunikeza abantu ngokuthi ngabe mhlambi aqokethe okuyinkulumo ekuyiqiniso noma mhlambi uqokethe ulwazi okuyiqiniso malana nalabantu okusube bafake icelo zabo ekuthizeni otholeke lama certificate okusebenza njengabameli.
And in your affidavit, Exhibit YY3, paragraph 3.2 thereof, you say this was this duplication of one number FFC to be allocated to two practitioners. It was a bona fide, that is, it was not a bad faith thing.
Yes.
It was a bona fide error, technical error. Did you seek an explanation from the FFC itself, who's the owner of the portal, to say, how come your system allocated one number for the same Fidelity Fund certificate, who don't even practice under the same practice or under the same name and style of practice?
From the email that we had received from Mr. Mujiako, Advocate Mujiako,
Yes.
I then initiated contact with the system developers from the Fidelity Fund portal.
kade ebuza ke kufakazi ukuthi malana nodaba lolu lwenkulumo affidavit elibhaliwe nabankulumo ebhaliwe ngaphansi kwesifungo ke lapho ke malana nodaba la ka 3.2 la khona ke inombolo eyodwa ke kepha ke inombolo eyodwa le bese inikezwe abantu ababili futhi abangasebenzi ngaphansi kwenkampani eyodwa ke abameli ukuthi uqhamuke kanjani ukuthi kwenzeke lolu daba ke lolu ke yasho kufakazi ukuthi basamuza ukuthi ngabe mhlawumbe nazama ixhumana nalomuntu oqhamuke nale portal lena ke noma nale system le athi ufakazi yebo yena waxhumana ke nalomuntu owenze le system wa developer le system ethizeni athole ulwazi ukuthi kungani inombolo eyodwa beyinikeze abantu ababili.
I then received a response from the system developer indicating that it was a technical error on their system side.
Athi lapho ubuza khona ukuthi kungani umnumzana umjiyako futhi ke ngemuva ukuthi umnumzana umjiyako axhumane naye ke yena wakhuluma ne system developer ibuza ukuthi kungani kwenzeke leli phutha leli ke bethi wathi yena ke iphutha elenzekile lapha kule system yabo.
Before we go forward, I don't want Mr. Baloyi to jump up and down now and say, I led you to come up with hearsay evidence, which is inadmissible. Then I'll be told to lie on the bet that I made. The person that you called from the FFC portal, the technical person, if we can have his name, and then through the state we can ask that person to come and verify this what you have just explained, and he can further tell us about these technical errors that occur and the frequency with which they occur, if they occur at all. Right, so I'm not going to take you there.
Okay.
Kade asho khona ke njalo ukuthi umail emalana nalolu daba lo afundi mhlawumbe sihambe sisheshele sigijimise phambili ke lapho ke kepha kathi ukuthi athole ke igama lalomuntu ke ufakazi waxhumana naye ke ebuza khona njalo ngabe leliphutha lenzike kanjani ke lapho ke ngoba afundi kusasa ke basathi ke lo mbhedo awenzile kumuntu alale kuona ke sekusho ukuthi sekuphakama kusho ke lapho umshushisi khona ke lapho ke kepha icecela ukuthi lapho ke esithole ke igama lalomuntu ufakazi owaxhumana naye futhi nenombolo zakhe bese naye abuye ke la ezingaphambi kwenkantolo azokwenza isiqiniseko ukuthi yebo empeleni nangeqiniso wakhuluma nalofakazi okhona njengamanje ke bekhuluma ngalo lolu daba lolu othi athi rena yena ke ngaphansi kwenkulumo ke affidavit kwenzeke iphutha.
Now, this duplication of the FFC number to both Scholz and Giaco happens because during the course of this case, this FFC number was mentioned in relation to Mujiako's involvement with accused number 2 for the box bag taking down of a statement by the magistrate. Would I be correct? In fact, let me put it this way. When did Ms. Scholz first complain that I hear that my fidelity funds number is being mentioned in relation to the name of Mr. Mujiako?
When this issue came to me, it was initially from Mr. Mjiako.
Yes.
Based on the email, I think it's exhibit YY5. This is the first time that it came to my attention that there is a duplicate fidelity number for Ms. Scholz and Mr. Mjiako.
Bathi ke lapho ke ngabe nazwa nini ke umama uScott futhi nomnumzana advocate Mjiyako ke basebenzisa ke inombolo ezizodwa ke eziwela ngaphansi ku FFC athina ke lokhu ngesikhathi beqala ke ukuzwa wakuza kuqhamuka kumnumzana komjiyako lakho ngesikhathi bekakuzwa ke futhi athi kubhaliwe khona ke la ngaphakathi kwemibukiso exhibit YY5 lapho ke kuthi umama uScott futhi nomnumzana umjiyako ekuthi basebenzisa ke inombolo eyodwa ke ewela ngaphansi ku FFC.
Now, from the gist of my reading and understanding of YY5, that is Mujiako's email, is that Mrs. Scholz complains that Mujiako is fraudulently touting her or his FFC number as his own. So, did this Scholz person complain to the LPC or they wrote directly to Mujiako? Do you know anything about that?
With that, I cannot confirm it.
bathi mayelana nodaba lakaScots ke futhi nomjiyakho la uScots kade asho khona ke ukuthi na-ke umjiyakho usebenzisa ke inombolo lezi zakhe ke yena ke ikhethekile zokusebenza ngaphansi kwa FFC futhi asho nathi usebenzise ngokumkhonyovu ke ingabe lapho ke uScots wakhuluma nani mathupha ekhala ke mhlawumbe lethe isikhalazo sakhe kumana nalo daba lulu noma mhlawumbe ukhuluma nomjiyakho athena ke lapho ngeke akhona ukuthi aphendule.
Okay, now let's drift away a bit from that. You've said, what is your current position now at the LPC?
I'm a legal officer at the record section, which
At
is
the
part of
record section.
professional affairs department.
Bathi nje uthize isikhundla sakho lapho ke athena ke
Professional affairs department, record section.
professional affairs department aphe kuma record section abashicila khona ke.
Now, apart from the technical bona fide error that I say somebody else will come and testify as to how that occurred on their system, if that person comes at all. In your experience as the professional affairs legal officer senior, are you aware of cases where practitioners have colluded, and I'm going to say the word colluded, I've never used that word, but I'm using it here.
Have you never heard that word?
I've never thrown it around here in the context where it was thrown around.
Have you never heard the word colluded?
My Lord, I think I knew that in grade R.
I thought I said somebody was colluding. Somebody accused this court of colluding. You've never heard that, me saying that?
I remember there was that story, my Lord. I'm not going to
It's a story.
enter
I
that
see.
domain.
Okay.
Yeah. So, have you ever had, and from the LPC, the Hallowed Halls next door, where practitioners collude with certain staff members that side from the LPC, and those practitioners obtained FFC fraudulent? Have you ever heard of that incident?
No, not to my knowledge, no.
Not to your knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bathi ngabe yiwezwa yini la khona ke mhlawumbe abameli bekhulumisana mathupha ke nabantu basebenzela ngaphakathi kule usebenza khona ke athi necha yena akusangakakuzwa ke lokho.
In the event if you say it's rumors, then rumors it is.
No,
But
I don't
with-
speak about rumors in court. Let's leave that.
Okay.
You've answered me that you don't know. And let me not also be misconstrued that I'm saying in this instance that happened. I'm not saying that. I must be clear on that score. Now I see you saying in paragraph 3.2 that I referred to that once it was established that there's this duplication, then there was a correction and Mijiako was allocated a new FFC number, correct?
Yes.
Uthize ngemuva ukuthi babone ukuthi kade likhona ke iphutha likhona lapho ke umnumzana umjiyakho bamnikeza ke inombolo zakhe ezikhethekile zokusebenza ngabe ngikuzwe kahle athi yebo kunjalo.
And then what happened to the 04415? Was it then, did it then remain with MLL Scholz, or was she also, or he also allocated a new FFC number?
Now the number remained with Ms. Goltz.
Bathi yini ke enzeka mana nale nombolo lezi zakaScots kade anazo mhlawumbe namnikeza ke ezinye izintsha ke noma mhlawumbe wasala ke esebenzisa zona lezi ke athi ufakazi waqhubeka esebenzisa zona lezi nombolo.
Wait. I'm just about to wrap up because like I told you, I'm not going to delve much into because I've told you the issue that we have. We've never said Mijiako is not an attorney. I'm just clarifying these other points. But the standpoint is that most of what you've provided, we are not quibbling or fighting with it. Okay, my lord, I think that's basically what I needed to cover. If I may. Oh, by the way, before I leave the platform, that person that you said you called and they told you that this was a bona fide technical error at the FFC. Can you give us the name of that person?
Yes, I can. I'll just have to check the surname.
Bathi mayelana nalo muntu ethi wamfonela lapho ngaphansi kwe-FFC ungakhona yini usitshela amagama wakhe ke athi yebo ngakhona kepha ngithi ngiqale ngibuke lana kula madocumente engiwaphethe bese ngibe ngipha amagama noma imininingwane yakhe.
It's just that it's not on this bundle. I can start with the first name and then I'll give the surname at a later stage because I cannot recall at the moment. It's Herman at the Fidelity Fund offices. He's the system developer at that office.
Athi ke igama uHerman oselapha ngaphansi kwe-Fidelity Systems ke lapho ke kepha ke awukhohliwe ukuthi isibongo sakhe ubani ke kepha lokho angasitshela khona ke njengamanje. Athi futhi uyena kwa developer le system noma developer ye le system.
Thank you, Manot. I mean, those are the questions that I had for the witness.
Yes, okay, thanks.
Thank you, sir. I also don't have a lot to ask. In addition to what Mr. Ramusipili sketched out as a way of a background, actually this whole process regarding the investigation of the FF number came about as a result of the fact that I got a little bit, when I went through that exhibit JJ, which is the confession form that one of the accused person made here, I came across that number and then I asked what is really the relevance of that FFC number there. Then it was said that is a Fidelity Fund certificate number, and then I also asked but why would it be here? That is when then this whole process started to come out as to whose number does this belong and stuff like that, and then it later emerged that apparently there was a duplication of numbers, that number, that single number was allocated to Mrs. Scholz and also to Mr. Mchiako. Do you understand?
I understand.
Athi ke umeli udaba noma inkulumo eqhamuke ngemuva uthathe ngibukela lapho kumbukiso ka JJ noma exhibit JJ ngesikhathi wathola le nombolo lezi ekhethekile wathi FFC number ukuthi kungani le nombolo lezikhona ke nazibhaliwe ke lapho ke futhi le nombolo lezikanti akusiyizona lezi esetshenziswa kanti noma kade zisetshenziswa ke khona ke abantu ababili futhi abehlukene futhi abangafani bese umnumzana umuntu Mjiyako futhi no Scholz ke khona njalo ke athi yebo ufakazi ngiyavisisa ke lokho.
Thank you. Now, the state took an endeavor to try and clarify the two numbers, which is why ultimately you requested to pen an affidavit trying to explain how these two numbers came about.
Hlangothi zombuso lakubuza ke sothatha khona ke wabhala ke lapho ke washo ukuthi kungani le nombolo iqhamukile ke lana kusinjalo yini.
Thank you. Now, you are saying in Exhibit YY2 YY2, which is page 3, that advocate, on paragraph 2, Advocate Mchiako was in possession of a Fidelity Fund certificate for the year 2020. However, due to a bona fide technical error on the FFC portal, the certificate number was a duplicate FFC 4415 of 2020, and the error has been rectified. His Fidelity Fund certificate number is FFC 13913911 of 2020. Not so?
Correct.
Wathi lapho kubhala khona ukuthi umnumzana Advocate Mjiyako kade angaphansi kwefika kwenombolo ze Fidelity fund certificate ngomnyaka 2020 ke lapho ke ngembangela ephutha lenzeka lapho kule area yenu FFC portal ke lapho ke futhi certificate number wagcina ke ekade kuyephutha lapho ke FFC 4415/2020 bese ngemuva ukuthi nilungise iphutha lelo ke bese uyothola ke inombolo lezi landelayo ezwela ngaphansi ku fertility fund certificate number la kade khona ke ku FFC 13911/2020 akusinjalo yini athi yebo kunjalo.
No, thank you, sir. Now, before we proceed, are you aware of a labor court matter a labor court matter where Ms. Matonsela took the legal practice council and I think 6 others, 7. Yeah, no, there were 6. The legal practice council is the first respondent, and the plus 6 on an agent application to hold certain proceedings against her. Are you aware of that case?
I'm aware of it, but I haven't gone through the whole thing.
Bathelazi incala la kamama uMadonsela tathathe khona ke iboard leni le-LPC futhi labanye kade kuzithupha ke lapho ke ebavele icala lapho ke labor court athi yebo ke yalazi cala kapha akakaze alifunde amafunde ke ngalo ngokujulile.
Is it so that the gist of this case evolves around disciplinary hearings which had to be instituted amongst certain members, including the applicant herself here, amongst employees of LPC relating to the exchange of money, which included the facilitation of irregular and unlawful falsification of attorneys' audits, irregular issuing irregular issuing of certificates of good standing and fidelity fund certificates. Are you familiar with it?
I was made to believe that I would testify in relation to Mjiyako and not issues that are outside the scope of why I was called here to testify on.
I did not get that, sir. You're
I was-
saying you were made to believe
I was
what?
made to believe that in terms of me being at this court
Yes,
was to testify in terms of the records
yes,
for Mr. Mjiyako.
yes.
I believe, I don't know if it's proper that we then transcend to possibly an ongoing matter with the LPC with someone else that's not related to Mr. Mjiyako's enrollment and his records as
No,
well.
but rest assured, we won't get into the merits of what happened in this application. It's just by way of a background to the questions that are going to follow.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you aware that there were these so serious allegations against certain individuals? This is a reported case from the labor court in Johannesburg. Are you aware of this so serious allegation against certain employees of the LPC?
As I testified in terms of when I was asked if they are, if I'm aware of this type of things and if I'm aware of the case, I have, like I said, gone through it at
Thank
some
you.
point, but not in detail as to the allegations leveled against
Thank you,
some
sir.
officials there.
Thank you, sir. And with the following question, I'm not insinuating anything. It's
Okay.
just an innocent question.
Okay.
Now, you would agree with me that up until this point, LPC, and you will correct me if I'm wrong, but LPC might not be in a position to tell, or is not in a position to tell, who the beneficiaries of these corrupt schemes were, and who the beneficiaries of these not so corrupt schemes were. Not so.
Please, my lord. We let the first question or two to slide, but my lord, these are unrelated to the issue that we are discussing with. As the witness has indicated, some of those matters are pending before court. In any case, we submit that those issues are outside the scope of this witness evidence, which we made it plain from the beginning that this is just about Mr. Mjiako.
As it please the court, my lord, it is unfortunate that this, as I look at this witness, I don't see Mr. Sambo,
Sambo.
I see LPC. Do you understand?
Sorry, Mr.
You are there representing LPC. Is it not so that all the correspondence that you did in your papers in relation to this Mr. Mjiako's matter, you did it on behalf of LPC? You did not do it in your personal capacity, not so?
It was on behalf of the LPC.
Good. This case...
Mr. Mnisi.
Yes, madam.
This case you're quoting of Professor from Cape Town, has it been finalized?
What is the issue with the professor from Cape Town, madam?
You said she sued. She obtained on an urgent basis an order, or she sued some persons who are employed by the LPC
Yes.
because allegedly you did whatever, corruption and what have you. Madonsela, Miss Madonsela,
Yes.
is that matter finalized? That's all I just want to know.
It's actually not a claim for damages matter, my lord.
Yeah, but is it finalized?
At the labor court, it was finalized, yes. I'm
What
quoting something.
what was the order? What was the order which was made?
The order was that the proceedings against her should proceed. She actually wanted to interdict on an agent basis.
She failed.
She failed
Was the matter then finalized after that?
by,
By the courts, the labor court.
yes, it was finalized
So there's no more litigation.
at the labor court in respect of this matter. No. There's none, my lord. And in fact, the labor court said, well, it is well aware of certain litigants who, when facing disciplinary hearings, they use these court processes in order to delay. Actually, they are employing these court processes for delaying tactics. After having said that there's no agency, or it can find no reasons for agency in this application, it went on to deal with the merits, and the judge specifically said, I want to deal, I know that if I do not find that there's no agency, then the matter needs to go to the normal role. But let me also attend to that so that I bring finality in this matter, so that LPC can immediately take on disciplinary hearings or proceed with the disciplinary hearing against the applicant, and then it also finalized it in that regard. In other words, the applicant can then not come and say, okay, I failed on agency, and then I'm taking it to the normal role. No, but it was finalized. Her remedy now is to go on appeal to the labor appeal.
When you say she's going on appeal, it means it's not finalized.
No, it's finalized.
That's how I understand the law.
No, it's
What does an
finalized
appeal
because
do?
there is no intention. It is,
What does an appeal predicate?
If the papers have been filed, if the person that is not happy with the decision of the court files papers indicating their intention that we're going to appeal this matter, then that holds the operation of the decision of that case. But in this case, that has not yet happened, my lord. As it is, this is a portable judgment on the face of it, which is...
Yeah, but that is on, according to you, that's on agency, is that not so? That judgment, is it on agency?
No, all that I'm saying, my lord, comes from this judgment.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
court found that
What?
her application was not agent. There's no agency in her application.
Right, and thereafter what happened?
It went on to deal with the merits.
Right, and thereafter what happened?
And the court found that even on the merits, there are no reason that she can try to stop the continuation of the disciplinary proceedings against
Fine, and then who is appealing now? You spoke about an appeal.
There's no person that is appealing, my lord. I'm only responding to the court when the court says, is that matter finalized?
That's it, yeah. And then
Yes.
you spoke about an appeal.
I'm saying, my lord,
Hmm.
if a person makes their intention to appeal clear, then that has got a propensity to stop the operation of the order of the initial court. But in this case, there's none, there's no appeal which has been filed.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, madam. So you're saying my question was, as is, you're not in a position to tell this court, and I'm saying I'm not insinuating anything here. I'm only following the spirit of the judgment. Do you understand?
If I may, can I look at the judgment, if it's possible?
You're welcome, sir.
Okay.
You're welcome. It is not fake. It's from the labor court.
Who was the judge then?
Sorry?
The name of the judge there? Tutalimaje, yes.
Oh,
Dr. Limaje, okay.
Yes.
All right.
You want to go and read it? We can request an indulgence, me and the state, for you to go.
Yeah, I
look at
can
the
read it,
judgment.
but however, as from just reading the fly notes,
Yes.
and in relation to your question,
Yes.
in terms of the judgment that you say, is that the court dismissed
Yes.
the urgency and then went on to the merits
Yes.
and all of that.
Yes.
And I believe that you also mentioned that the judgment or the order was that the LPC should then proceed with the
Yes.
disciplinary
Yes.
hearing. I cannot then proceed to answer those questions because the LPC is still dealing, as you say,
Yeah.
and then I'll go through this thing with the LPC still doing what they need to do in terms of disciplinary hearings. So I cannot proceed to answer in the way that you.
Maybe we misunderstanding each other. I do not
Yes.
want us to get into the merits of that judgment.
Mhm.
You see, because I don't know whether you're involved or not in the LPC. But now, the reason for the institution of the disciplinary hearing, amongst others, the applicant in that matter, was the issuing of fraudulent fidelity fund certificates. And I'm saying,
Is it not the alleged
yes,
issuing?
alleged, yes.
We are
alleged
lawyers.
issuing, yes. And I'm saying, I do not insinuate anything. Do you understand? That the principle that I want us to talk about from that judgment. Do you understand?
I understand.
Thank
Okay.
you. Let me have my document.
Akathumeli ke ufakazi angafundi ke inkulumo yesinqumo noma isinqumo senkosi enkantolo yamikisa ke ngale ngesinqumo sayo nodaba lo dakhuluma ngakho kepha kade akhuluma ngokuthi ke khona ke inombolo zomkhonyovu ejwa ukuthi zikhishwe ke lapho ngokomthetho ngabantu abasebenza LPC ke noma FFC noma malana nodaba lama fidelity funds account lapho ke athi ufakazi yebo ngiyakuzwa ngokukhuluma ngodaba lo kepha ngeke ngijobelele ngikhulume ngokujulile ke malana nodaba lo lwesinqumo senkosi enkantolo yamikisa ngaso ke malana nodaba lo lokuthi khona ke abantu abathizini abanikeza ke inombolo zokusebenza ngongekho ngongemthetho.
Thank you. Now, in view of the fact that there's a fidelity fund certificate also in this matter that seems to have its own issues, which is the reason why I tend to refer to this matter on the principle that I say we need to work on. Do you understand? On the principle that we should extract from this case. Do you understand?
athi ke mana udaba lwenombolo ezikhethekile lapho ezola ngaphansi ku-FFC yizona ke abangathanda ukudinga bakhulume ngazo ke ngoba khona umuntu athola ke inombolo bese nomunye athola inombolo ezifana ke nazomunye lezi athi beyikhiphile ke noma kwakhishwa ke inombolo eyodwa kade khishela abantu ababili bese bathi yona ke iphutha ke lelo ke athumele acela manje ukuthi sikhulume ke mayelana nodaba lolo.
Do you understand?
Understand?
Thank you.
Athi yebo ngiyakuzwa.
Now, only the allegations which are contained in affidavits on the basis of which this application was laid at the labor court. Are you in a position to tell or not whether the LPC at this stage is in a position to identify people who were beneficiaries from this corrupt scheme?
Oh, sorry. But I understood you to say the disciplinary inquiry is still supposed to take place. Is that not what you say?
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, we as lawyers, we know that there's a principle
Yes.
called
Subjudicate.
subjudicate.
Yes.
Lawyers know that. You can't discuss that. Even if it's in the disciplinary inquiry, because that disciplinary inquiry is instituted in terms of a law. And this
Yes.
gentleman here, he's just an employee. Am I correct? You're just an employee.
Yes.
Who's the director there?
Mr. Ignatius Brill,
She's the head.
Of the provincial office.
And then the national?
National office is Charity Nzunza.
Right. And I take it you must have signed a confidentiality agreement.
Exactly.
Yeah, so really, as Mr. Baloy says, it's a peripheral issue. It doesn't concern this court case we are having.
Thank you,
And I
madam.
don't want people to say, oh, the judge what you write, I has a lutho. Because the case, pirates and the chiefs. Manje la, kuza rangers, you futhi. You can't discuss that, you know that.
As it
And
please the
you are
court.
saying people have committed fraud and what have you and corruption, and the poor guy must expose himself to such. I don't know what happened.
I take the guidance, my lord, wholeheartedly, although I also understood him to mean that he's there to represent LPC.
No, he's not. He's a servant. Doesn't even have a mandate to talk authoritatively about a case like this, where there's a board. You guys got a board, is that not so?
We have a committee.
Committee, you call it a committee.
Yeah.
I know there's a board at national
Yes.
level.
Yes.
Yes. Which issues, directives, etc., etc.
So he has got limited mandates on which he can talk about.
Yeah,
Is that so?
it's like my
That is
clerk
so.
here. You see this gentleman here? Oh, he's gone out. I don't want to whisper something when
There's
he's
one
not.
that is here, man. I'm not sure whether I court is referring to the
No.
gentleman.
That's my registrar here.
May you please stand up, sir?
You can't comment on cases which happen here. Anyway, you can't.
As it please the
He's
court.
just here to serve my purposes.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought the witness there introduced himself as a senior legal officer.
No.
What?
As a legal officer.
A legal officer.
Yes.
Yes. You're just not an ordinary officer, you're a legal officer. Not so.
Qualified legal officer. That's
Yes, a qualified legal expert. And you're also an admitted attorney yourself, not so.
Yes.
Thank you. But let us proceed. I do not intend to make a meal out of this. But what again struck my mind is that Mr. Muchiyako, according to the letter that is here, apparently he also comes to realization that he was sharing a number with somebody else around. Well, I don't know when he realized, but the email that he penned to the LPC with his complaints was around the 5th of December 2024, not so.
Bathi ke lapho umnumzana umjiyako ke mayelana nodaba lwenombolo zakhe ezikhethekile zokusebenza ke ngaphansi kwe-FFC wabona ukuthi yena kuyisebenzisa ke nomunye ke umuntu uthi ngesikhathi wabhala i-email lena ke uyibhale makusefika kunyanga kaDisemba ngomnyaka 2024 kusinjalo.
Yes, from exhibit YY5, it does show the 5th of December 2024.
Athi yebo mina ngodaba ka exhibit YY kwiteacher ngibhale ilanga la nge5 saka December ngomnyaka 2024.
And you, according to the papers here and yourself is that this was in response to a complaint that that was laid by Mrs. Scholz, that apparently she was sharing a number with Mr. Muchiyako.
As I indicated, that this matter came to my attention from Mr. Mjiyako's email,
Yes.
of which the subject matter mentions a complaint.
Yeah.
However, how I took it was for me to rectify the issue with regards to his Fidelity Fund certificate number.
Thank you.
Wathi kwathola ke isikhalazo ekade siqhamuka ku-Scott-ke lapho kathi yebo ngesikhathi wathola ke email lapho wathola lokho ke bese nakade bemcela ukuthi akalungiseke lo daba lo qhamukile ukuthi ke kwenze njani ke noma iphutha liphi-ke leli elenzeka ngesikhathi ekhipha ke inamba lezi ze-FFC number Fidelity Funds certificate lapho ke bese nakwenza lo msebenzi ukuthi alungiseke leyo nombolo lezo ke mayelana nodaba lesi certificate sakamnumzana uMjiyako sokusebenza.
Now we have already indicated what steps we have taken in order to rectify this, not so?
Yes.
Thank you.
Uzokhuluma ukuthi yini owayenza ngesikhathi sokuthi ulungise lokho athi yebo kunjalo.
And that has been dealt with by Mr. Ramusipili. Thank you. However, one thing though that caught my attention, in 2024, Mr. Mjiyako says to the LPC, Ms. Scott is complaining that I'm sharing a number with her. I'm in 2021. Is it 2021? I think it's 20. In 2020, I shared a number with her. That number that you have read into record, it's not in dispute. And then in rectifying that mistake, you allocate, or you say Mr. Mjiyako was then reallocated with another number, not so?
In terms of the Fidelity portal
Yes.
that we use, the number that shows, let me see. The number FFC 13911 2020 was then allocated to Mr. Mjiyako in
Yes.
on that Fidelity Fund certificate.
Yes.
Athi ke inombolo lezi ke ngivuke akhale ke uMjiyako lapho bese bamnikeza ke inombolo ezinye ke zona ke ikhethekile ke lapho ke iqondile kade kuyize iqiniso ezula ngaphansi ko FFC futhi Fidelity Fund certificate lezo ukuthi FFC 13911 2020.
You know, my concern here is we're talking about something that happened already in 2020, not so?
Correct?
Thank you. Now, this number, FFC 13911 of 2020, how could it have been possible for the portal to go back into 2020 and reallocate Mr. Mjiyako this number when the complaint is made almost 4 years thereafter?
As already mentioned, my position as a legal officer is
Yes.
at records
Yes,
department or section.
yes,
One of the responsibilities for that office is for us to have accurate information
yes,
for each and every attorney and advocate that we have.
yes,
In this instance, this Fidelity Fund certificate shows that it was issued in 2020.
yes,
Right, so when the email from from Advocate Mjiyako I received,
yes.
I then proceeded to contact the legal the Fidelity Fund officers to correct that.
Yes.
As a measure for us to have correct information for each and every attorney that we have,
Yes.
regardless of whether that complaint comes after
Yes.
the issuing of that Fidelity Fund certificate.
Thank you.
Athi ke lapho ke nosebenza ngaphansi kwe-LPC ke lapho ke njenge lapho ke legal officer athi isikhathi esiningi uma besenza ke lo msebenzi wabo nakho ukuthi bakhipha ama records ke lapho ke futhi ngemuva ukuthi umnumzana uMjekwa abe nesikhalazo mhlawumbe akhale ngokuthize ke lapho ke kula yena kwasebenza khona ke nabantu lapho ke FFC ethize uthole ke inamba ke eqondile lapho mayelana nomnumzana uMjekwa ke bese inombolo lezi bese bazibuyisela kumnyaka ka2020.
Let us try to dissect this, Mr. Sambo. So are you then saying that with this number FFC 13911 of 2020, that is the number that Mr. Mjiyako should have been allocated with in 2020?
That I cannot confirm. It's an answer to the system developer. As I said, that my responsibility was to then send through the
Yes.
email,
Yes.
ascertain that the number has to be correct.
Yes.
The response that I received from our
Yes.
system developer was
Yes.
that this was a technical error.
Yeah.
This is the new number for Mr. Mjiyako, or this is the number that Mjiyako then has.
Athi ke lapho ngeke khona ukukhuluma kahle ke mana nodaba lwale nombolo ezikhethekile ke lapho ke abantu bangakhuluma ke lapho ke abantu beze system developer ke bangashela iqiniso mana nalo daba lolu.
So basically, you are just like myself, you are also hamstrung.
As to the technicalities of how the number arose,
Yes.
I cannot answer. That would be an answer for a system developer at the Fidelity Fund.
Athi mana nombuzo kade ubuzwa ke ummeli ngeke akhona uphendule ke lo mbuzo lo kepha umuntu angaphendula lo mbuzo lo umuntu eqhamuka lapho ke Fidelity Funds account
Thank you.
noma
So,
give system developer yakhona ke.
so you basically have come here as a conveyor of the message that you got from FFC. Whether that message makes sense or it doesn't make sense, we shouldn't really kill the messenger. Not so. What I'm saying is, we have just come here to deliver the information that you got from FFC. Whether that information makes sense or it doesn't make sense, it really doesn't concern you. You just the conveyor of that message yourself, not so.
I came to testify in terms of the records that we have for Advocate Mjiyako.
Athi kofakazi nawuzelana ithizini alethu ufakazi bakhe mana nalokho bakushicilele phansi ke mana nomnumzana Advocate Mjiyako.
But this is some of the record that we received from you, not so. That in 2020, Mr. Mjiyako already was allocated with the number 13911 of 2020. And at the same time was allocated with that number FFC 04115 of 2020, not so.
Correct.
So when asking you questions further, whether or not Mr. Mzinyako in 2020 was using these two, or actually the portal allocated him with these two numbers, and then you are saying, no, I can't answer. We'll have to go and get that from the system developer. Is that not what you said?
No, I didn't say I cannot answer.
Oh, yeah.
I said that I am testifying in terms of what we have on our records,
Yes.
which on our records, it shows that there was these numbers, and
Yes.
also in relation to Advocate Mjiyako's email,
Yes.
to indicate to us to say like there are two numbers that are floating around. In terms of one number, I mean, for two practitioners, for Mrs. Scholes and Advocate Mjiyako.
Bathi ke khona lapha nodaba lwenombolo lezi ethi umnyaka 2020 umnumzana Mjiyako kade asebenzisa zona ke lapho ke inombolo lezi ka FFC 4415/2020 ke bese nalena ke ethi lapho ke FFC 13911 911-2020 ke bese uthi manje ngeke ukhona ukukhuluma ngeke ukhone ukuphendula noma ukukhuluma ngofakazi lobo ke kumele sibuze umuntu i-system developer ke athi ufakazi lapho ke nabakazi ukukhuluma manana nofakazi bokuthi kade khona inombolo eyodwa ke kepha inombolo eyodwa leyo kade isetshenziswa ngabantu ababili ke abehlukene mayelana nodaba lwe-email biqhamuka lapho kumnumzana advocate Mjiyako ngoba athi kade khona ke kade akhala ke lapho ke umama uScholes ngokuthi umnumzana Mjiyako sebenzisa ke inamba yakhe ke ngongemthetho noma komgulukudu ngoba ugulukudu adabenzile.
Thank you, sir. Let us simply repeat. Your system was told, not so. Because LPC does not generate these FF numbers, not so.
No, we don't.
Thank you. So it is the FF, the Fidelity Fund, that generates these numbers and send it to your system and say that this practitioner is allocated to this number.
Correct.
Thank you.
But lapho ke LPC yona ke eyenza ke inombolo kepha ke Fidelity Funds account eyenza ke inombolo athi yebo kunjalo ke.
How these numbers get generated, their authenticity, their rightness and their wrongness, that you can't testify about. You just depend on what your system reflects as you open it, not so.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bathi ke lapho nina ke inombolo anizenzi ngokwenu kepha zenziwa abantu lapha ke lokuza ne-Fidelity Fund certificate athi yebo kunjalo ke bese thina siyazivula kuma-sivula kula sibona khona ke imininingwane eyinombolo ethize.
Which is the reason why I'm saying to you, you're not in a position to explain why already in 2020, Mr. Mjiyako is allocated that number, that 13911 number. At the same time, gets also allocated with that 04415 number. Not so.
As I said, that will be a technical question for the system developer.
Bathi mina nodaba lwey'nombolo ke ezimbili ke lezi kade yena kumnumzana bemnikeza zona ngomnyaka 2020 angeke ukhona ukukhuluma ufakazi bazo ngeke ufakazi malana nazo ke athi yebo ke kepha ke umuntu angathi ufakazi malana nodaba lwey'nombolo lezi ke umuntu omeze ukuthi system developer.
Thank you, which is the reason why I say you basically like in a position of a messenger who's not the creator of the information themselves. You just carry that information through to those that they are supposed to receive, not so.
As the record section, that's the information that we
Yes.
have, we then provide.
Thank you, sir.
Bathi usho ukuthi wena kufana ke nomuntu kade bemthumile ethizela adlulisa umyalezo ngokuba wena ke wena uqhamukise le nombolo lezi ke athi yebo kunjalo.
So the person that can come and try to explain our concern away, if they will ever be explained away, it will be that Mr. or Mrs. Herman.
Mr.
Or
Yes.
Mr. Herman. Thank you,
The
sir.
technicality of how the system would work, that would be.
Bathi usho ukuthi umuntu ongeza ke azositshela malana nodaba ley'nombolo lezi umnumzana uHerman athi yebo uyena ke oselungelweni ukuthi ze eze alethe ufakazi ke mayelana nale nombolo lezi mhlawumbe nephutha lenzeka ke lapho ke ngaphansi ko-Fidelity Funds certificate.
Thank you, Mr. Sambo. We are looking forward to meeting Mr. Herman. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Uyabonga ke ummeli qedile ukuza kumbuzo kofakazi.
Under re-examination? Oh, sorry.
No questions.
You have no questions?
No questions to this witness. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Maybe just one aspect note. Mr. Ramosipil, on behalf of accused number 2, ask you the following question that in the trial within a trial and during the course of this trial, accused number 2 says that he never gave Mr. Mjiyako a mandate to represent him in this case or the Tlhabane case. But before you could answer, he then said it's an issue that Mr. Mjiyako himself can answer. Are you able to proffer any answer on that proposition that was made by Mr.
I cannot provide an answer for that.
Okay.
wathi khona ke umbuzo othi ubuzwe ke ummeli wakho komnumzana
Thank you, that is all, my
ukuthi ke wena kathi ngesikhathi elikhona komzila ngaphakathi komzila wona washo ukuthi wena awukazi ke ummeli omnumzana umjiyakho kulicala noma kucala lasebuhlabane athi yena ke ngeke akhona ukuphendula ke lapho ke kepha ke umuntu akhona ukuphendula noma nodaba lombuzo ke umnumzana advocate umjiyakho kepha umshushisi bekabuza ukuthi ngabe usho ukuthini ukuthi ngekhona ukuphendula ngabe unesiqiniseko salokho noma yinto kade isho nje kuphela ke leyo ke athi cha ngeke ngikhona ukuphendula namanje.
If I can just pursue that with one question. Are you aware of any correspondence that touches on that issue of the mandate?
No,
That is under your control?
no.
Thank you.
Bathi ngabe unalo yini ulwazi olwela ngaphansi komsebenzi wakho nodaba lolu cha anginalo.
Mr. Ramusipili asked a question, or he made a statement or a declaration that it's not directed at you, it's just directed at the lawyers here and the public, that says they will await the evidence of Mr. Mjiako. Am I quoting correctly, sir?
I'm saying if he's called, my lord.
Yeah, if he comes, you'll
If he
await that.
comes. Yes, but that doesn't mean.
No,
I am
fine. No,
calling
the
him.
onus is not on you. I know
Yes.
this. But we as lawyers, can an attorney who has been given instructions give evidence against his former client? The legal principle of attorney and client privilege. You don't have to answer. I'm just talking about that. Think about it.
I've also thought about
Uh-huh.
it when I put the proposition.
Yes.
But if it's renounced,
Yeah,
they
but
can testify.
it must who renounces it?
Yes.
Who renounces it?
Is the client?
Yes, that's the point.
Yes.
Doctor, did you hear that? Okay. Are we, Baloy, Mr. Baloy, when are you, will be able to get that information?
Is it now the
Yeah,
information that
you
was
said
mentioned
you were
on
collecting
Friday?
it and
Yes.
tomorrow, you will get it tomorrow or when?
My
Or
lord,
can you estimate?
I spoke to the investigating team. In fact, I received a message from them very in the early hours of this morning. It would appear that they must still set about to get that information.
So I will come tomorrow in any case.
So they haven't started as yet, my lord. But yeah, maybe we should convene tomorrow
Okay, fine.
and just maybe properly plan the way forward.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All the luck. How old are you now?
34. 34.
34. Okay.
Eh,
Hello, Jen.
sawubona, bafowethu.